Do you know, Tim, Stephen was coming up onto the stage then and John Barton handed him a beer, and it's the first time I've ever seen him put a beer down without drinking it.
My word.
I know, something wrong there.
I bet he picked it up on the way back.
He certainly did. Wait till I tell Jimmy Courtney about that. There'll be a new 4-year TV deal with Channel 10 in Australia. Motorcycle racing fans down under are exposed to the TT races, as you've just heard, like never before. And in Cameron Donald, they have a modern-day superstar on every step of the way. Super Cam lived up to his nickname during qualifying last year, smashing the absolute lap record in the penultimate session. Let's see the man himself in action, navigating his way across the mountain section on that incredible lap.
And this is the lap, and it's the lap that stunned the whole paddock. Absolutely incredible as Cameron Donald tore over that mountain section. In fact, he had to tear around the whole part of it to do that. But John McGuinness, who had been the fastest man around the Isle of Man TT circuit, I'm sure he was shocked by it as well.
Yeah, we are witnessing here the fastest ever lap around the TT course, Steve.
Yeah, on a bike that he won the race with last year, and I believe that the team are giving him this bike, so he's going to have to be careful with it throughout all the practice sessions and for the race for that matter.
Ooh, why did it stop there? Sorry. That joy was short-lived when Cameron crashed out the event only 24 hours later, robbing fans of the chance of seeing him go head-to-head against the reigning Superlight champion John McGuinness, and himself the chance of adding to his 2 previous race victories. Let's talk to the man himself now and see how the injuries are coming along. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Relentless by Taz Suzuki's rider, Cameron Donald.
In a clear field, there's a silhouette, and I watch you. No, I'll never forget. Yeah, I figured it out now. Breaking's what the heart is for. When I see you in a silhouette, and you hold close, do you feel regret?
Well, Cameron, we'll get the injury question over with first. How is the shoulder? It was longer term than you originally thought. Fit and healthy now?
Yeah, no, the shoulder's tip-top now and ready to go. It was, injury turned out to be a bit worse than they originally diagnosed it with till I got home and got a few more scans done. It was a bit more serious. Had surgery late in the year, and I've had 6 months of rehab, so more than long enough, and plenty of track days in the summer back home in Australia, so been spending plenty of time on the bike, been lucky to get that. Well, everyone else over here's been in the snow and the cold from what I've been able to see on the weather reports.
Yes, we get a tanned rider up here. Everyone else is peely
it's
white.
quickly disappearing at the moment.
I bet it is. Let's just go back to last year and that lap there in practice that set every tongue wagging. 131. Okay, everyone says it's unofficial, but you went out there and did a lap at 131 before anyone else.
Yeah, it was, everything sort of fell into place late in practice week, and we went out, just went out to do a lap to try something else on the bike, and my mechanic said, look, just as I was about to ride out, he said, if it feels good, I've put enough fuel in for you to do 2 laps. And when I came around the end of that first lap, I saw it was, I think, over 130 from a standing start. I knew that as I was coming onto the straight, and I thought, oh, I'll do another one here. And I'm glad I did. But yeah, I mean, it was working well, and then it all went a bit pear-shaped thanks to an error by myself. So we'll come back this year and see what we can do.
Before we move on from that, and we wish you well, obviously, this year, they say a week's a long time in politics. It proved to be a day was a long time in the TT, because unfortunately we're going to show what happened. This happened.
Don't.
I'm sorry to do this
I'll
to you,
just look
Cam.
this way. Oh, great. Do you want me to talk you through it? Yeah, I'm surprised you can't hear me yelling out what I was yelling out from here.
Well, that was you, Nobles, with the Neil boys there. But I'd just like to say for North One, that was taken by an amateur cameraman, because the North One cameraman would have actually got the whole crash on and wouldn't have flinched.
Yeah, they actually came up to me in the pits and told me that they got that on film, and I actually offered them money to make that disappear.
You didn't pay enough, obviously. Let's move on to this year, and it wasn't a good year all round for the Relentless by Taz Suzuki team. You've got an anniversary to celebrate this year, and I'm sure Hector is putting overtime in to correct what happened last year and go back to the year before when it was going all so well.
2008 was my first year with Taz Relentless team, and that was an amazing year for myself and the whole team. And last year was a tough year. It was a tough year for a lot of teams, you know, bad weather at the Northwest, and we had a tough TT. So I just got off the phone from Hector now, actually. He's just checking in, and look, the boys have worked really hard this year for the team. Of course, it's a big year for Suzuki with the anniversary as well. And yeah, it's a big year for myself. It was great. I was injured. I feel very fortunate to be with such a great team. Many riders would know you get injured, you usually get dropped pretty quick by a team, but Suzuki Relentless, Taz, they all stood by me, re-signed me. Philip and Hector sent me home and said, look, get fit, come back and let's carry on. And so now it's time for me to repay the faith.
What are the preparations then for you? What's the schedule ahead of the TT now that you're up in the Northern Hemisphere?
Yeah, I come back over early this year, so that's great to be able to come here and take part in the Spanish test last week, and now we'll do some more testing and some more races and get a good build up to the TT, get the Northwest out of the way, and then get over here and celebrate Suzuki's anniversary.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's wish him well. Good to see him fit and healthy. Cameron Donald.
Now, before we let Cam go, let's have a word with his employers at Suzuki, who in 2010 will celebrate their 50th anniversary of racing at the TT. Ladies and gentlemen, from Suzuki GB, please welcome Marketing Manager George Cheeseman.
We've seen the Arrow boys come up with a bit of a rabbit out of the hat. I'm sure you've got plenty as well. So how is Suzuki going to celebrate?
We've got a few rabbits up the hat, and we'll keep some up the hat for the time being. But no, obviously 50 years of Suzuki racing, World Championship racing, it all started at the TT in 1960. So the TT is very special to Suzuki. It's something that's always been a priority for us as a manufacturer. So there's still some things we hold, like the first Japanese winner in 1963, and the success that the Taz team's had for us has been fantastic. So, but it's also the people for the event that we recognise makes it. So we've got a few activities. We'll be sponsoring the Ramsey Sprints. It'll be the Suzuki Sprint, Ramsey on the Sunday and the Tuesday. But also pleased to say we've done a deal with the Manx Museum, and they'll be putting on an exhibition over the 50 years and telling the story and the riders and the people that have made it so special, both for Suzuki and obviously the TT.
I think there's a bike down here that might be a clue to something, yeah?
Yeah, there's a clue there. We're also pleased to come on board and become the official motorcycle sponsor of the TT and be providing the Marshall bikes with the bikes for them to be circulating on the island with. So the GSXR 1000 will be the bike that they'll be enjoying.
With the Arai helmets on?
With the Arai helmets, yes. So
when are you going to reveal the full extent of the Suzuki plans? You're up here and you're just teasing us here.
We'll keep some anticipation going. There's still, like you say, a few months to go till we get there. So there's some really nice big stories, some that involve Cameron as well. So he's sworn to secrecy. So keep visiting the website and keep listening for the press releases, and all will be revealed.
Tell you what, we could find out how good the shoulder is, couldn't we, and get some information out of you. No. Listen, guys, thanks very much for giving us a little insight and fantastic support for the marshals as well. Ladies and gentlemen, the marketing manager, George Cheeseman of Suzuki, and Cameron Donald.